Multi-camera TV productions use numerous cameras whilst filming in order to cover a wide range of shots, most commonly used in both live and as-live productions. This way they are able to cover all of the action from different angles whilst also ensuring that nothing will be missed and everything is covered. There are a huge number of television programmes that use the multi-camera setup. For example, game shows like The Chase, reality shows like Big Brother, live events like the Brit Awards, and comedy shows like Mrs. Brown's Boys. Live TV productions are sent straight to air as they are being filmed with only a 5-second broadcast delay. This is used so that if something goes wrong or somebody swears, they will have enough time to put in a censorship beep in order to avoid offending the viewers watching from home. A good example of live production would be Children in Need. They use a wide range of different cameras all over the studio, recording the main stages, as there are sometimes multiple, the presenters, the guests and the audience too. This way from home we are able to get a feel of what the atmosphere is like within the studio. By using a range of different cameras we are able to keep up with the fast pace of the show. We can cut from the facial expression from a single member of the audience to a long shot of the stage to a mid shot of the performers. A good quote to explain why live productions is useful is by Millicent G. The advantages of filming live is that the results are instantaneous. However, there are also downsides to filming live. For instance, the possibility that space may be an issue as well as a restriction of power sources. However, this should have all been tackled within the pre-production that would have been sorted out months before filming. As live productions are different in the fact that the footage is filmed before the show is aired, so the director has more control over what will be shown. They are also given a bigger time limit as they can reshoot certain scenes. A great example of as live productions are Nevermind the Buzzcocks, which is an as live TV show watched all over the United Kingdom with popular guest stars. They are able to keep up with all the conversation between panel members using action, reaction and interaction shots. For example, when Noel Fielding, who is a team member, is talking to a guest presenter, we will see Noel Fielding talking. This is the action. Within that, we will cut to the presenter to see his reaction, cutting back to Noel Fielding as he finishes talking, and we will cut back to the guest presenter to reply, and this will be the interaction. In order to get these 3 different shots within the space of around 7 seconds, we require a multitude of different cameras, including a reaction shot of the live audience if there was a joke. One disadvantage of as live is there is still a major time limit, and with time limit there are also costs involved. Again, space and power sources can sometimes be an issue, but normally fixed way before the production. There are so many different behind the scenes crew roles that make sure that the show runs smoothly without any problems both on set and in the gallery. The gallery can be both inside in a designated room or outside in an OBV, meaning outside broadcast van, depending on whether the production is inside or out. Inside the gallery we have normally around 5 members. The first member will be the producer, as they are essentially the boss of the production. They are responsible for ensuring that the schedule and running order is correct. They will also be responsible for timing. The producer will be giving guidance to both directors and presenters, whilst also giving orders to the floor manager in the studio. Next we have the director. They will be directing the camera operators, whether human or by remote control, whilst telling the vision mixer what shots to cut to. He or she will be constantly looking at a selection of output monitors, deciding what shots should be used next and deciding how the viewers at home will see the finished product. Thirdly, we come to the vision mixer. They are responsible for cutting to the appropriate footage, and they are also responsible for controlling any wireless cameras whilst also running VTs, the intros, the idents, ending credits and also captions. Basically, the vision mixer is responsible for putting together everything we see on the screen itself, like building a layered painting. This leads us on to the production assistant, who is in charge of counting down to certain shots and ad breaks and basically keeping everyone in the gallery on time, ensuring not to run over its allotted timing. The last person in the gallery is the sound assistant. Now he or she is responsible for ensuring that all microphones have been issued to the correct crew members and that they are working correctly and on the right frequency. They are also responsible for making sure that everyone's mics have enough battery during the ad intervals. Outside of the gallery, in the studio, there are more crew members like the floor manager, who is basically the boss of everyone in the studio. They also have to relay any instruction from the producer in the gallery to the crew members in the studio, whilst also making sure that the live audience are quiet when needed and laugh when appropriate. In the studio, we have both stationary and roaming camera operators. They are responsible for making sure that they are able to react fast enough to capture the footage that the director requires. The presenter's main task is to entertain the audience while acting professional. For example, in a quiz show like Mock of the Week, which is a comedy panel show filmed as live that requires the presenter, Dara O'Brien, to be funny, witty enough to interact with the guests by following all of the producer and floor manager's instructions. Any guests in the show will also have to take direction from the producer and floor manager, while acting both professionally and entertaining depending on the genre of the show. All in all, the positives of using multiple cameras when filming certain events outweighs the cons and proves much more beneficial for the viewers and the audience, as they get a wider variety of shots and angles to keep their attention. The multi-camera setup has been used since 1928 to cover things like the Queen's Messenger, and the setup is still being used today, which provides evidence that using multiple cameras to cover larger events and television shows is a technique that will be used for years to come.